What is up, my fellow Chiebits? Today, I'm here to bring all of you the weekly anime review of Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphan Season 2, Episode 3. How I love Sunday mornings. How I love Sunday mornings. Gundam Day. Sad we no longer have ReZero, but still, it's a good replacement to have Gundam, and just makes me happy. Puts a smile on my face every time I wake up on an early Sunday morning and I watch a glorious Gundam episode. So this week's episode is a full-on battle-orientated episode. So if you've been wanting action for these past couple episodes, you definitely got it, because that's what this entire episode was about. Granted, we also have to realize that there was some comedy moments throughout the episode, and a little bit of chillax moments, but overall, though, it was a battle-orientated episode. So, if you like action, you're just going to be completely happy with this episode because of what was really in it. Speaking of the action and all that, let's get into the art and animation. So, was I the only one that really noticed the emphasis on the movements of the characters in this episode? Like, what I'm getting at is, when the mechs, like the Gundam frames or the mobile suits were moving around in space, or the ships were moving around, there was a lot of emphasis on the movement of the different mechs and stuff throughout this episode, and I felt like it might have been just me realizing that, or it might have always been there, I just decided to take notice of it now. But when I was watching this episode, I noticed one of the big factors of this episode when it came to the fighting was the movements. Just seeing the characters go extremely fast, like going straight up, curving around, and you just see the stream behind them and how, you know, they get behind someone and attack them. Like, for instance, what Mika was doing to a couple of people he was fighting. There was a lot of emphasis on movement throughout this, you know, battle-orientated episode, and I just want to ask, was it just me that noticed it, or has that always just been there and I've just really noticed it a lot in this episode? Please let me know in the comments below. But I did enjoy that, and I appreciate that emphasis on it in this episode, especially the way the fighting was done. Now, speaking of which, though, Mika. Oh my, I love how this episode kind of implies some of the things that are wrong with Mika, but at the same time, they don't point-blank state it. For instance, as we know, Mika, when he's outside of his Barbatos, his, you know, Mobile Suit Gundam, when he's out of it, he can't use his arm and his eye's fucked up. He doesn't have the normal functions he used to have earlier on in Season 1, after his final fight in Part 1, you know, Season 1 of Gundam. And we see in this episode there was emphasis on his eye that's fucked up earlier on in the episode, and then you have emphasis when Atra, she's given food to him in the cockpit, you see it to where, you know, his arm is working completely fine, he's holding a drink, and Atra looks at it and notices, like, it's like, yo, his arm, he's able to use it. You see these little key, like, emphasis points throughout the episode on how he just is completely different while he's fighting or he's in a mech, compared to how he is when he's outside of it, and I love how that was, like, one of the big focuses of this episode, but it was kind of behind the scenes, and it was not point blank. You just had to really take notice of these little details that were shown throughout the episode. So, Mika, he showed two sides of himself. For one, he showed the kind of happy, kind of caring side to him, especially with Atra, when, you know, when she popped up giving him food, and he's like, I'm hungry and stuff, and she was giving him food. The way he was acting all sweet and kind to her, it was such a cute moment. It's one of my favorite moments of the episode. I know many might not like those scenes, many might not like this little romance or stuff building up between those two characters, but I appreciate that, and I had a good laugh and a smile from it, and it was a nice, good tone shift away from nothing but the battling we got throughout the episode. And so when I saw that little, you know, tone shift, you see this little happy moment and all that, and you see Mika not being completely serious or mean, mad, or whatever, and you saw him kind of being a little bit happy-go-lucky, it made me smile. And then once that was all said and done, he gets pissed off and he goes into battle mode and starts killing people. So just, you gotta like both sides of Mika, how this man can be kind one moment, and then all of a sudden he could be evil the next, just start killing people, wrecking bitches, and being a badass. That's what we see throughout the episode. So just a lot of epic moments from Mika. If you like Mika as a character, which I do, this is definitely an episode for you. But it's not just his episode as well. Akihiro. So Akihiro, he has a new upgrade to his mech, and we get to see pliers, and holy shit, Boy, them fucking pliers he pulled out when he was crushing that man's frame. He was just completely crushing. I'm like, yo, that would be a brutal way to fucking die. Just imagine someone has your Gundam frame or your mobile suit completely encased with pliers just crushing your ass. Just imagine how painful that would be. Just having the sides of the walls of your suit just coming in and crushing you. Oh, I don't even want to imagine how painful that might feel. So when this man's just crushing him like that and he throws the surrender sign, I'm like, yo, this man just fucking surrenders. I surrender, I don't want to die. That shit was good. I had a good laugh there. So poor Akihiro, he got cock blocked by the surrender flag multiple times throughout the episode, but damn, I like his, upgrades he got throughout, his battling we saw in this episode. So getting off of that, talking about new things, we also have it to where the fighting overall, it seems to be at one point in time, it looked like Tekkadan was at a disadvantage because there was more ships and people fighting against them when they started, but somehow Tekkadan was able to make it through this unfair odds. Usually, regardless of who you are or how strong you are, numbers do matter in warfare. They do. You can say whatever you want. You could say a skilled soldier is better than 10 soldiers, and that might be true, but when it comes down to the real fundamentals, though, numbers do mean a lot. I mean, 3 people going after one person, that's going to be hard for that one person, no matter how good that one person is. So numbers do matter, and so Tekkadan was at a disadvantage when the fight began, but they managed to kind of pull through and showcase that once again, that they're not your average fighters. They're not your average people that go into fighting. They are Tekkadan that stands together, fights together, has high morale, and are willing to put their life on the line regardless if they die or not. They are willing to put their life on the line and die for what is right and what they want to accomplish. So Tekkadan being badass and just seeing the morale and how they were able to overcome these type of odds is rather impressive. And even seeing Gjallarhorn as well pitching a hand in throughout this episode, it feels so weird compared to how Season 1. I mean, if you think about Season 1 of, Gundam Iron Blooded Orphan, you think about Gjallarhorn that was constantly attacking Tekkadan, or you see how they were chasing them down. They were constantly the enemy throughout Season 1, and it's so weird to see these characters, or Gjallarhorn in general, just working with Tekkadan and helping them out. It's a weird feeling, and you see this, just this mixed thing about the entire episode, where these characters are helping out Tekkadan in their fight, but at the same time, though, we see that Tekkadan, they have multiple factions, different parties, trying to accomplish a goal and get reputation for their own certain portion of their party. For instance, Gjallarhorn that's split into different sectors, and when the new Gjallarhorn reinforcements popped up at the end of the episode, it was kind of saying that Tekkadan, they need to hurry on up and, beat the boss, capture the boss, take the credit, or these people that just came in as reinforcements are going to take that credit away from Tekkadan, which you see towards the end when Mika has that confrontation with the girl. So, yeah, overall, I gotta say, episode of Gundam Iron Blooded Orphan, Season 2, Episode 3, Episode 3, pretty badass. Loved it from start to finish. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.